In last week's video, we talked about the most reliable cars that you can buy for $20,000. And in this week's video, we're having some fun talking about the least reliable cars that you can buy for $20,000. Let's get to it. All right, number one, I have 6 of these sort of categories. I actually felt for this video that it made more sense to just give you kind of generic, don't buy these kind of advice as opposed to like really specific models that you should go after, because I would rather you be risk averse when it comes to your next used car purchase. And these are just some options that you should generally avoid because at $20,000, they aren't what they once were, and they probably will leave you with a very large repair bill. So first, in last week's video, we talked about a 5-year-old BMW with a turbo 4-cylinder. This time, I'm gonna talk about 10-year-old BMWs with turbo 6-cylinders. So we're talking about any BMW that ends with a 5 in the model number. And so a 335, a 435, a 535, an X335i, an X535i, anything like that, you wanna stay away from because number one, they're getting old, they're wearing out the plastic and rubber and have a lot of leaks. And number two, the engines and the turbos are known to be catastrophically bad at high mileage, where the turbos probably will fail. And even a really well-maintained one, which is gonna be hard to find at this budget, is just not going to actually hold up unless you do a lot of work in preventative maintenance to keep it going. Separately, the infotainment system, as you get in these older models that are still 20 grand, are not as good as the newer ones that I recommended you buy in last week's video. Number two, any Alfa Romeo. Don't buy a Giulia, don't buy a Stelvio. They are going to give you problems. We had a 2018 Alfa Romeo Giulia in the shop over the last couple of weeks with a parasitic draw. This is an 8-year-old car with 30,000 miles on it that this guy cannot trust to get him places because he doesn't know if the battery is going to be good or not when he gets back to the car. And the thing that ended up being the problem is the battery management module, which is discontinued. So we can't fix the car. And this is a type of problem that is quite unfortunate for him as the owner of the car. He's gonna have to sell it now in order to get something that he can actually trust to turn on every day. And furthermore, there's no support in the aftermarket for these cars. They weren't made in high enough volume to, number one, have any sort of engineering expertise put behind the reliability of them, and number two, to actually have any parts suppliers continue to manufacture parts at any sort of reasonable volume for these cars as they age. And so if you're buying a used Alfa Romeo, you gotta be so careful when it comes to the reliability and the possible maintenance costs. These things just don't have a very long shelf life. And I'm sorry to say it because I know a lot of people really like them. And the reason that they stuck around through the late 20-teens and into the 2020s is because there is this fun and exotic feeling, even though it is essentially now a Chrysler product, they do still give you that little bit of extra specialness over any old Jeep or Chrysler or Dodge product. Next, any 5-year-old or so 2-liter 2.0 TFSI or TSI Audi or Volkswagen. These engines have a ton of problems, whether it's with the turbo or it's with the timing cover or it's with the timing chain. These things leak a lot, they have coolant issues, and everything on these cars ends up costing you somewhere upwards of $1,500. I don't recommend these cars if you are looking for something that is reliable, that's going to work for you every time, and that's not going to cost you very much in maintenance costs because they weren't built to last. And it's unfortunate, the cars that the 2-liter engine came in are usually the lower trim, the cheaper versions of these cars, and they were built to a budget where people who wanted a Volkswagen or an Audi, a European brand, to come in and buy a car at not a huge price point, they're gonna work and they're gonna be satisfied for a brief period of time, but as those engines age, they do just run into a lot of problems. Number 4 on the list, this one is the broadest, I would say, is I wanna talk about normal traffic cars for Fords and Chevrolet. And specifically here, I am basically talking about crossover SUVs and sedans built by Ford and the General Motors Group, GMC, Buick, Chevy, Cadillac in the 2015 to 2020 range. These are all highly disposable cars. They have transmission problems, they have engine problems, they have infotainment problems, they leak, they have turbo problems. They are not going to last for a particularly long time, especially if you buy a $20,000 one. You think you're getting a pretty robust car that you can own for a long period of time, but towards the end of your ownership, you're going to get hit with repair bills that force you to sell this car. It's not going to be something where it preserves the value over time and you get to get out of it at still a reasonable value because they are notoriously reliable. The opposite will happen. It will depreciate to such an extent that there is nothing left for you because the imminent failure of one of the major components of the drivetrain is unfortunately imminent. The fifth one on my list, I kind of regret putting on there, but it has proven true from our customers, and so I feel obliged to tell you about it, and that is the Genesis products. Genesis, which is Hyundai's luxury brand, makes some cool cars. They make nice looking cars. They make cars that fit a very luxurious and comfortable sort of demographic of people that are appreciative of a different option from the more high-strung European options and the rather boring Japanese options. They now have this middle ground that kind of suits both categories. It's more sleek looking. It's potentially got a little bit more of a cool factor to it, but it still has all the luxury, and it's kind of steeped in that luxury that you could want for a luxury car. But the powertrains in these are suffering from a bit of the same problem that Alfa Romeo is, in that because they aren't selling in super high volumes, the engineering behind them just doesn't hold up to long-term usage, and the parts availability means things are expensive and take a long time. And so you're spending a lot of money to keep these things on the road. And we're seeing Genesis with 50 to 75,000 miles with problems that keep them in the shop for weeks while we wait for parts to come in, either from the local dealership or from eBay, being the only place where you can get a reasonably priced part. Spark plugs are a special order part for a Genesis. And unfortunately, the only way to get them is through eBay if you want to spend less than $100 for 6 spark plugs. And because of that, it's just not a very accessible car to maintain through that middle ground ownership with a $20,000 entry point. The last car on my list, this one's going to be an obvious one to most of you, Infinitis. Pretty much all Infinitis are going to have reliability problems at the higher mileage after you buy it at $20,000. $20,000 Infinitis are not going to be the most well upkept cars that you could imagine, and the technology in the interior of these is actually where we're going to suffer the most issues. The interiors of an Infiniti just don't last. Furthermore, the powertrains, similar but more luxurified than the Nissan powertrains, don't hold up. Something about the turbos that are in Infinitis at the more powerful, more luxurious price point than the Nissans means that they just don't hold up. They have expensive issues, engine replacements, steering components, interior issues, all throughout that 50 to 150,000 mile range where these things are just going to eat up your bank account, and you should avoid them at all costs. So that's my list. 6 cars that are the least reliable cars that you can get for $20,000. How did I do on my list? Leave a comment below. Do you own one of these? I'm sorry if you do. And until next week's video, stay driven.